What's up, guys? My name is SnyperSama, but you can call me Sniper. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are touching on another viewer requested build. That is going to be the Sword and Shield. Now, if you paid attention and you have seen what I've been uploading, you'll know that last week I uploaded a video talking about my tier list for the most fun weapons in Monster Hunter Wilds for me specifically. And Sword and Shield was definitely toward the bottom of that list. Sword and Shield is not a fancy, flashy weapon. It just doesn't feel like that to me. There's no big hits. There's no decisive moment. It's very, very much so playing to stay aggressive and stay on the monster. The problem is, for me, it's just not enticing enough for me to continue. Unlike the Dual Blades where it has a perfect dodge mechanic or the bow with a perfect dodge mechanic, the Sword and Shield just kind of plays. And it plays well, don't get me wrong. It is a phenomenal weapon. I can see the appeal. It's just not for me. But that does not stop me from making builds for those of you that are interested. Maybe this is your favorite weapon. And for that, I have a new build just for you. Okay, we're going to be starting with the Kyrie Verd. But before we get into the weapon details specifics alone, make sure you guys are liking, commenting, and subscribing. I'm trying something new with talking about it at the very beginning of a video because I've heard that it helps a lot with getting you guys to remember, hey, maybe I should like the video to help him out. Hey, maybe I should comment what I thought. Hey, maybe I should subscribe because I like this guy's stuff. Seriously, please subscribe. Anyways, Kyrie Verd. Is it Kyrie? Kiri? I would assume it's Kyrie, right? Anyways, Kyrie Verd. This is a Gogma Ardian roll. Okay, Gogma Ardian is the best by far, and I built my Sword and Shield just a little bit different with Ebony Odogaron's power. Now, the reason we are rocking Ebony Odogaron's power over something like Gormagala is because Ebony Odogaron is very, very nice on the fast-hitting weapons. Sword and Shield specifically is one of those that is really, really good at taking full advantage of Burst. Burst is just one of the best skills in the game, if not the number one. And because of that, I wanted to take advantage of Burst Boost. And it was something that a lot of you guys talked about in my last Sword and Shield video, which was a while ago, basically being like, hey, I want to see something that takes advantage of this. Because everybody plays into Gormagala, which means it is always going to be part of the channel. There's always going to be part of the builds. The best part about it, though, you're not always going to get Gormagala. Sometimes you will get a god roll like this. Ebony Odogaron's power with Lord Soul. You can make it work without sacrificing your variations of god rolls. So, attack infusion, dragon element because it's the best for farming in-game monsters, attack focus with Ebony Odogaron's power and Lord Soul. Ideally, you guys have something similar to what I have here. This is actually a very, very good god roll specifically for me. I think it's the best possible that it could be, and that is going to be 1 sharpness, 1 affinity, both in the EX variant with 3 attack boosts. 2 attack boost EX, 1 attack boost 3, and that is because you cannot have more than 2 EXs of any variation on any weapon. If it's sharpness and you've got 3 sharpness, only 2 of them will be EX. If you have 5 attack boost, only 2 of them will be EX. This also falls in line for element and for affinity. However, element, there is a caveat. You do not have an element 3, you have element 2 and EX. That is it. So, attack infusion, 3 attack boost, 1 sharpness, 1 affinity, Ebony Odogaron's power, and Lord Soul with a dragon element attack focus. Okay. As far as the armor goes, once again, let's be real. Arc Vulcan Helm, Gamma. Arc Vulcan Van Braces, Gamma. It's just the best. Weakness Exploit level 5. Flare level 2. Wonderful decoration slots. Then we have Gormail Alpha. The reason we're rocking Gormail Alpha is because of the evade window and antivirus. Believe it or not, the Sword and Shield actually has iframes when you are doing lunges forward and back steps behind. Now, most of the time, these are used in tandem to start combo strings. Most notably, Perfect Rush. Perfect Rush is really, really good because when you initially do the backstep, before you trigger the Perfect Rush combo string, you literally get the dodge back. Meaning, things like Evade Window and Evade Extender are able to take full advantage for it. Now, the reason we are not using Evade Extender here, because you might be thinking to yourself, well, if I can dodge further back, it might be more beneficial to avoid some of the bigger combo strings from harder in-game monsters. Normally, you'd be right. The problem is the way Perfect Rush has been coded, when you do that back step, If you have something like Evade Extender on, yes, you will get more distance, but most of the time you are actually going to jump further back than Perfect Rush will send you forward, meaning you are not able to take full advantage of Perfect Rush, let alone at all, meaning you might not even be able to use the skill easily and efficiently. It's almost counterintuitive. But Evade Window, on the other hand, does increase the invulnerability frames that come from the forward hop and the back step, which is why I decided to go with Gore Male Alpha. Okay? Whether you guys actually wanted the actual breakdown of why I chose this or not, it's there. If you're a nerd like me, you might appreciate that little minute excerpt. If you're not, you might have skipped over it, to which, fair, I do the same thing sometimes. It happens. Then we have Guardian Ebony Coil Beta. This is going to come with Burst and our second level of Ebony Odogaron's power for the Burst Boost skill effect. Not only does Burst give us the +8 or whatever damage it is based on what level it is, but Burst Boost is also going to give us another +8, giving us even more just raw attack and elemental attack, which is really, really nice against those in-game monsters. Then we have the Sororol Boots. These are really nice. Stamina Surge, Part Breaker, and it gives us our second piece to the 2-piece bonus of Gore Magala's Tyranny with some decent decoration thoughts. Okay, you could make an argument to go for like the Gore Boots here, right here, the Gore Greaves. Go with another antivirus, some flinch free, different decoration thoughts, but I really like Stamina Surge and Part Breaker, so it seemed like it made more sense to toss this in. Okay, on top of all of that, we have the Golden Age Charm. At least to me, the Golden Age Charm doesn't need to be anything crazy. All you need is attack boost. If you can get away with just attack boost 3 and then the additional 4, thanks to it being a Golden Age Charm, the rarity 8 one with a weapon decoration slot in the first, you're good. If you have something like attack boost burst, attack boost flare, great. Honestly, attack boost 4 is the only thing you need. Okay, as far as the decorations go, we have 1 Mighty Jewel, 2 Mighty Jewel, 3 Mighty Jewels. This is going to give us maximum might. Maximum Might is just one of the best skills in the game. 30% affinity for keeping your stamina is very, very nice. Okay, we have 1, 2 Sane Jewels. This is because our chest plate already comes with 1 level of antivirus, so we only need 2 additional pieces. Then we have the Refresh Jewel and Refresh Jewel. These are going to make sure that we have Stamina Surge, because when you are playing Sword and Shield, you're blocking, you're rolling, you're dodging, you're backstepping, you're using your stamina, which means one of the best ways to get it back, Stamina Surge. At the level 5 or 3 variant we have, it is a plus 50% stamina recovery, which means not only do we get our stamina back for more actions per minute, but we easily get to use maximum might. We have 1 growth jewel. Truth be told, you can sacrifice pretty much anything here. If you wanted adaptability so you don't take damage from the environment, that works. If you want growth, that works. If you're playing with friends, you want shockproof, that works. Anything works here. It's just an open one. Growth is one of the ones that I slot in when I have 1 singular piece. It's just because it's a damage and an attack increase, or an attack and defense increase when you're taking longer than 5 minutes in a hunt. Okay. Then last but not least, we have 1 Chain Jewel, and like I said, attack. Attack is going to give us the attack boost 4, so we get the percentage increase. Chain Jewel is going to give us burst level 2, which is really, really nice. Burst level 2, and because I have it on my charm, I'm only counting it towards burst 2 because not everybody's going to have that. It's still a phenomenal breaking point to get to because it is just going to give you a decent stat boost. The difference between 1 and 2 is much, much higher than 2 to 3, 3 to 4. After that, at least in my opinion, I would say hitting level 2 is great. If you can hit 3, there's no point in going past 3 unless you can get to 5, which is why 2 is just good enough. Okay. Then on our weapon, we have Critical Jewel 3. Critical Jewel 3. This gives us critical boost maxed out. And then Guardian Handicraft. The reason we're rocking Guardian Handicraft is the damage increase. Offensive Guard gives us a plus 15%, which is absolutely crazy. And because you're playing Sword and Shield, you should actively be trying to perfect guard everything if you are not actively trying to dodge everything, which is where the Evade window comes into play. Evade window level 2 is great if you're planning on dodging. Offensive Guard is great if you're planning on perfect guarding. The idea behind it is to have the ability to do everything on the weapon that can do everything, okay? So, all things considered, this build goes absolutely crazy. Sword and Shield is definitely one of those that I am not a huge fan on, but the majority of people like it, and that's fair. It's just not for me. You can see here, without doing anything else, we are at 284 raw attack, 30% affinity thanks to our maximum might and our weakness exploit, which, just in case anybody is interested in the numbers for the affinity, weakness exploit is 30%, maximum might is 60%, antivirus is going to give us 25, meaning we're at 85%. If it's on a wound against weakness with the weakness exploit, we're actually at 105%. Okay, so you can see here, we do a fairly substantial amount of damage. We have Flare for the extra, and then on top of that, we have a very, very fast-hitting weapon at 344. Thanks to the Arc Vulcan, we have actually already healed everything that we took from that first hit as well. It's just not my kind of weapon, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't wonderful. With counter slashes, I'm at 344 raw attack, just pumping out crazy damage, and it's super, super easy. That backstep right there counts exactly towards the affinity, the evade window, and on top of all of that, when you do the lunge forward, does the same. This build is wonderful. Sword and Shield is great. Part of the reason we're using the Handicraft is you can see here, just after a little bit of time, my sharpness has already started to go, and Handicraft will also just give you more sharpness, because when you guard, unfortunately, it takes sharpness as well, unless it is perfect, okay? Overall, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's build. Thank you all for coming and watching, and thank you all for hanging out. Make sure you guys are liking, commenting, and subscribing. That way I know what you want to see more of. That is going to do it for today's build. I will see all of you in the next one. Farewell.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.